Lesson 33, A Day to Remember. Have you ever experienced a day when everything seems to go wrong? 大家有没有过这样的经历？这一天里头，事事都不顺心。We'll listen to this text, which is about such a day. Now listen to the text and answer this question. What accident began the series of traffic accidents? 这一连串的交通事故是怎么样开始的？
We have all experienced days when everything goes wrong. A day may begin well enough, but suddenly everything seems to get out of control. What invariably happens is that a great number of things choose to go wrong at precisely the same moment. It is as if a single unimportant event set up a chain of reactions. Let us suppose that you are preparing a meal and keeping an eye on the baby at the same time. The telephone rings, and this marks the prelude to an unforeseen series of catastrophes. While you're on the phone, the baby pulls the tablecloth off the table, smashing half your best crockery and cutting himself in the process. You hang up hurriedly and attend to baby, crockery, etc. Meanwhile, the meal gets burnt. As if this were not enough to reduce you to tears, your husband arrives unexpectedly, bringing 3 guests to dinner. Things can go wrong on a big scale, as a number of people recently discovered in Parramatta, a suburb of Sydney. During the rush hour one evening, 2 cars collided and both drivers began to argue. The woman immediately behind the 2 cars happened to be a learner. She suddenly got into a panic and stopped her car. This made the driver following her brake hard. His wife was sitting beside him holding a large cake. As she was thrown forward, the cake went right through the windscreen and landed on the road. Seeing a cake flying through the air, a lorry driver who was drawing up alongside the car pulled up all of a sudden. The lorry was loaded with empty beer bottles, and hundreds of them slid off the back of the vehicle and onto the road. This led to yet another angry argument. Meanwhile, the traffic piled up behind. It took the police nearly an hour to get the traffic on the move again. In the meantime, the lorry driver had to sweep up hundreds of broken bottles. Only 2 stray dogs benefited from all this confusion, for they greedily devoured what was left of the cake. It was just one of those days.
Have you answered the question? What accident began this series of traffic accidents? Right. 2 cars collided, and then the drivers began to argue. The text begins by telling us that sometimes everything seems to go wrong. And then we are given a scenario to illustrate how bad a day can be. 那么注意，第一段講的這個情景呢，它是假設的。Then the second paragraph starts with, things can go wrong on a big scale. So it's a transition from the imaginary scene to the real incident. 这樣呢，就從這個虛構的情景過渡到了真實的事件。There was indeed a chain of coincidences which make things a terrible mess. When the text ends, it says, it was just one of those days. It was one of those days. 這是一個口語化的說法，意思就是 It was just one day when everything seems to go wrong. 这就是那麼事事不順心的一天。Okay, now let's look at the language points in the text. A day may begin well enough, but suddenly everything seems to get out of control. Get out of control, 失去控制。如果用介词词组来表达，就是 be beyond somebody's control. 在控制之中就是 be under control. Look at two examples. I'm afraid it is beyond my control. 恐怕这件事情我控制不了。Don't worry, everything is under control. 所有的事情呢都在控制之中。要表達对事物的控制，可以说 have control of or over something, or be in control of something. 也可以使用动詞表達，就是 take control of. 那麼失去控制就是 lose control of. A great number of things choose to go wrong. Choose to, 我們在前面幾課學過它的用法。It means decide to do something deliberately. He has deliberately chosen to lead the life he leads. 那麼這裡用來說事情 choose to go wrong 是一種拟人化的说法，好像事情成心捣亂一樣。I'll give you one more example. He chose to stay away from the party his wife held for him. 他故意沒有參加他妻子為他舉辦的晚會。It is as if a single unimportant event set up a chain of reactions. Set up means make a process start happening. 使呢一連串的事件發生。But set up can also mean something else. 我們來看看在不同的上下文中 set up 的意思。The committee was set up last year. Set up here means establish. 这个委員會呢是去年成立的。Does anyone know how to set up this machine? Set up 在這句話中呢就跟課文中的意思一樣，意思是 Does anyone know how to make this machine start? 有沒有人知道怎麼樣使這個機器啟動？In some people, this drug sets up a reaction. 在有些人中呢，這個藥品會引起反應。Here, set up also means to make a reaction happen. A chain of reactions. A chain of means a series of. 一系列的，一連串的。那麼課文後邊又出現了 a series of 這個詞組。The telephone rings, and this marks the prelude to an unforeseen series of catastrophes. 課文後邊呢，出現了 a series of 的用法。The telephone rings, and this marks the prelude to an unforeseen series of catastrophes. 這裡的 a series of 當然也可以用 a chain of catastrophes 來替換。課文中使用的是 a chain of reactions, 一連串的反應。那麼連鎖反應呢，在英文中的表達就是 a chain reaction. Let us suppose that you are preparing a meal and keeping an eye on the baby. Let us suppose that means imagine if you are preparing a meal and keeping an eye on the baby.What would happen? I'll give you one more example. Let's suppose, or suppose that you lost your job tomorrow. What would you do? 意思就是想象一下，如果你明天就失業了 What would you do? Keep an eye on the baby means look after the baby.它比 look after 要更不正式一些。Look at one more example. Can you keep an eye on my luggage for a minute, please? 你能不能帮我看一會兒行李？ This marks the prelude to an unforeseen series of catastrophes. Prelude, 它如果是对音樂或者戲劇而言呢，意思就是序曲或者序幕。Here it's used figuratively. 这裡呢是引申義，是指的事件的序幕。 I'll give you one more example. The recent changes were regarded as a prelude to a reform. 最近的这些变化呢，被视为是改革的一个序幕。A series of catastrophes. Catastrophe 灾难 ，disaster 是它的同义詞。Look at this example. If war broke out, it would be a catastrophe for the whole world. 如果戰爭爆發，将對全世界都是一個災難。You hung up hurriedly and attend to baby, crockery, etc. Attend to means care for or deal with. Look at this example. He is attending to the customers now. 他现在呢，正在接待顾客。Meanwhile, the meal gets burnt. Burnt 在这里是烧糊了的意思。我们知道 burnt 是 burn 的过去分词。那麼 burn 它的过去式过去分词既可以是 burnt， 也可以是 burned。burnt 尤其是被英國人使用 ，burned 尤其被美國人使用。但是要表示烧糊了的意思，只能使用 burnt 这个过去分词形式。As if this were not enough to reduce you to tears. Reduce you to tears means as if this were not enough to make you cry. Reduce somebody to 意思是使人陷入一个不快的状態。我們來看幾個例子，看 reduce to 經常與哪些詞搭配。His question reduced me to silence. 他的問題使我陷入了沉默。She was reduced to begging eventually. 她最終不得不乞討。The city was reduced to ruins. 這個城市淪為廢墟。So tears, silence, begging, ruins, they're all unpleasant situations or less active states. Things can go wrong on a big scale, 大規模的。We can also say on a large scale or on a small scale. Two cars collided. Collide 相撞，它的同义詞有 bump or clash， 但是 collide 尤其指的是迎面相撞 ，directly running against. The woman immediately behind the two cars. 这個緊跟在兩輛車後邊的女人 ，immediately 是用來強調的。I'll give you more examples. He lived in an apartment immediately above mine. 他住的那家公寓呢，就在我家樓上。The farmers were the immediately affected by the new policy. 農民是受到這個新政策最直接影響的人群。She suddenly got into a panic. Get into 這個詞組經常用來表達陷入一個不快的情形。課文中呢，用的是 get into a panic。它還經常跟這些賓語 get into trouble 惹麻煩 get into difficulties or get into a mess. Panic means fear and agitation, usually groundless. Panic 是指恐懼或者恐慌，尤其是指沒有什麼根據的恐慌。Look at this example. She got into a real panic that she would forget her lines on stage. 她一想到她可能上台之後忘了台詞兒，就覺得非常的恐慌。所以呢，這句中的 she would forget her lines on stage， 還有課文中描述的這個情景，這種恐慌都是沒有根據的，沒有緣由的。As she was thrown forward. Be thrown forward means be pushed forward violently. Be thrown forward means be pushed violently forward. 它猛地向前一冲。Throw 这个动词呢，用来表示强烈的一个动作。For example, he threw the door open. 他猛地把门摔开。The cake went right through the windscreen. Right through 这里 right 是用来表示强調的，意思是 the cake went directly through the windscreen. I'll give you one more example. Take the next turn, you'll find it right in front of you. 下邊一個路口轉彎，你會發現它就在你面前 ，exactly in front of you. It landed on the road. Land 我們在前邊的課文中學習過，是降落的意思。When he landed near Dover. 那麼這裡呢，就是落下來的意思。Give you one more example. Raindrops were landing on my head. 雨點呢，落在我頭上。Seeing a cake flying through the air. Fly through the air. Fly 呢，这个动詞是為了生動的描述。Through the air means the space above or around, 在空中。Look at more examples. The cat fell 10 stories through the air without hurting itself. 貓從10層樓上落下來，沒有摔傷自己。Throw your gun down and put your hands in the air. 放下武器，舉起手來。This led to yet another angry argument. Yet means still another angry argument. 這裡呢 yet 也是用來強調的。Look at more examples. Having already owned 20 pairs of shoes, she bought yet another pair today. 她已經有了20雙鞋了，今天呢又買了一雙。Sorry to disturb you yet again. 對不起，再次打擾你了。He made a yet worse mistake. 他犯了一個更嚴重的錯誤。所以 yet 在表示強調的時候，經常跟 another 又一個 again 又一次或者比較級一起連用。The traffic piled up behind. Pile up means accumulate, 堆積、積累。這裡的意思就是後邊排的車越來越多。Pile up 既可以用來形容實物 ，for example, snow was piling up overnight. 一夜之間呢，雪越積越多。也可以用來形容抽象的東西。His debts are piling up. 他的債務越積越多。Only 2 stray dogs benefited from all this confusion. Stray means lost, not in their original place. 意思就是野狗。Look at this example. His drawer is full of stray socks. 說襪子不在原處，其實就是單隻的襪子。They greedily devoured what was left of the cake. Devour, 吞咽。But we can also use the verb figuratively. 我們也可以使用它的引申義，就是如飢似渴地做什麼事情。For example, he was a very keen reader. He would devour one book after another. It means he would eagerly read one book after another. 這篇課文呢，因為講述的是有很多巧合事件會引起一個重大的事故。So there are a lot of adverbs used to describe the worsening process, to emphasize the coincidences. 我們來看看課文是怎麼樣使用副詞來強調這些巧合的。A great number of things choose to go wrong at precisely the same moment. 就在同一個時刻一起出錯。那麼 precisely 是用來強調時間的。The woman immediately behind the 2 cars happened to be a learner. 這裡用 immediately 來強調空間上的巧合。除了 immediately 之外，還有 The cake went right through the windscreen. 蛋糕呢，正好是從風擋那兒飛了出去。This led to yet another angry argument. Yet indicates that it has already become a mess. 那麼 yet 就強調了在這之前的情形已經夠糟糕的了。除了副詞之外，动詞的選擇也可以強調這種巧合。A great number of things choose to go wrong. 我們剛剛講到了，好像是形容事情成心捣亂一樣 choose to。 除此之外，還使用了 happen to 來表示巧合。 The woman happened to be a learner. 這個女人恰好呢又是一個初學者。So much about the language points in this text. Now coming back to the topic of the text. Remember the text says, sometimes a lot of things choose to go wrong at exactly the same time. 生活中的這種事情呢，就被稱為 coincidence, 巧合。有的人比較理性客觀，認為巧合純粹是偶然的。Coincidences are purely accidental. So long as you arrange things carefully and cautiously, they can be avoided. 但是呢，還有一些人認為生活就是由巧合構成的，他們就會把巧合認為是 fate or destiny, 命運，或者說 the God's will, 一種天意。This kind of people is called fatalistic people. 這樣的人呢，就會被稱為宿命的人。However we choose to understand coincidences, such a day is really a day to remember. Okay, I'll see you next time.